Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is because my coaching is unlike any other coaching on the internet. True story. Nobody spends as much time on their clients and with their clients on trying to understand where they're coming from and truly doing this thoroughly. Okay, really inside out, so that I'm the last coach you'll ever need. I have a lot of people in my coaching who went to many different other coaches and they end up being with me, and I'm their last coach for the most part, unless we really don't click, which happened a couple of times, and that's politely put. This is to do with rebuttaling me or not following my coaching program, which I require that you show up and do the exercises and the assignments that I require you to. I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me so that we can cover what we need to cover, so that I can truly expose your non-beneficial beliefs and work on them. This is really, really important. And why my coaching is unlike any other coaching is because most coaches spend about an hour a week, if that, on Zoom or on a phone session with a client. And that's basically it. And most other coaches do emails and texts. I start with a phone session to get to know you, and then you have the option of 2 main packages if I'm just starting out with you, especially. It's the audio unlimited exchange package or the phone session unlimited exchange package. Now, here's the deal. The audio exchange is only 20 minute at a time from you. Okay, it has to be that way because otherwise it's overwhelming for me. I go through the audio, I analyze it, I give you my feedback, and I respond with my own audio. In between, you have 4 more sessions after the initial one, and so you can book that session whenever you please, and that session is an hour long. The other, and of course you have access to me via email and text, goes without saying. The telephone session package is more or less the same exact thing. We speak 2 to 3 times a week this way. However, the difference is that you're on the phone with me live, okay, 2 to 3 times a week, schedule permitting, yours and mine, whenever we schedule that slot. I usually have a slot for each client. But I record this session and then I go through my notes. Of course, with your permission, the recording is there. You are provided the recording copy, but I go through that recording in order to take my extensive notes. My coaching is very thorough because I take all these notes and because I want to really, really understand inside and out of everything that you have lived thus far, down to the very detail. No detail is too small for me. It's almost like a detective story, if you will, for each client, but it really interests me because I really want to understand who you are. And then in the next session of the telephone session, we reconvene and I give you my analysis live and I ask you more questions. So if you'd like to be on the phone with me, that's best for you. But either way, it has to be that it's obviously all recorded and I go through it later, whether that's 20 minutes or an hour. It's, basically the same process. The only difference is that we speak live on the telephone, which is why it's more money, and obviously because I have to go through an hour. The other package, for some people who come back into my coaching for a refresher course, there is a telephone session package, but it's not recorded. We just speak live. I take some notes, but this is again for somebody that I'm not just getting to know. This is basically, it's like 15 phone calls, okay? And we talk and talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is for somebody who's already been through my coaching. I just want to emphasize that. This is not for somebody who's starting out with me. I have to start with recording everything and really writing down a lot of notes, because this is the only way. This is the only thorough way for me to finally pinpoint what you need to work on, what has been the problem, and so that you never really are left in the dark about what it is that you need to work on. And then we work on it. And like I said, if you want to come back and just have some telephone sessions with me, that's the package for you. So I hope this is, explained to your liking. The distinction between the regular telephone session and the recorded one is huge, because, well, first of all, the price is different. The recorded package is more, but it's more extensive. The telephone session recorded package is more extensive. The other one is for somebody who's coming back into my coaching and wants to talk to me on a regular basis. All right, I hope that's clear. You can book my coaching on my website, or you can send me a payment directly to my Cash App or Zelle. Either way, you will need to sign a coaching agreement, basically stating I'm not a therapist. You cannot, start disrespecting me or bombarding me, or kind of like rebuttaling me and not following with the coaching, like I said. Otherwise, it's, kind of like defeating the purpose. You cannot be on illegal drugs. I hate to say that I have to say it. And of course, everything is confidential and private in my coaching, 100%, unless for the crazy exception that some kind of situation arises and it's I'm being harassed, I'm afraid for my safety, or you are becoming, a danger to yourself or a danger to somebody else, and I'm aware about it. But that's a very extreme situation. I just needed to put it in my coaching agreement because I've had a couple instances like that, unfortunately. So once you sign the coaching, we schedule the phone session and we begin. All right. If you have any questions, all the information for me is below. There's a new something I'm going to add to my website. So by the time this airs, I'm probably going to add it. I will offer custom-made meditation tapes. And I will also make my own personal favorite ones. And you will have a sample on my YouTube, and then you will need to purchase the entirety of it. I've had some people who asked me for that, and so I'm going to start doing that. So if you have some suggestions of what kind of meditations you'd like, just comment below. Okay, today's subject is how to make them apologize and cry for you. Okay. So before somebody, starts freaking out that this is manipulation and how manipulative and this is a title, okay, which obviously is eye-grabbing, but it basically has to do with you turning the tables on your SP, okay? If somebody did something wrong towards you, and you know for a fact you did nothing wrong, this is the only time that it applies, okay? This is not to take revenge. This is not to hurt somebody. This is not, to be an asshole, for the lack of better verbiage. This is to make things right. And so in my coaching, we go through a lot of belief work and a lot of things that you've experienced. A lot of people write to me about these things. Sometimes they don't really want to have their SP anymore, but they'd like to receive an apology. Sometimes they want an apology and to have them back. So whatever your situation is, know that this is to be used wisely. And obviously, this is to mean that you want to basically have, basically made things right in your favor. Whereas before, you were, suffering one breakup after another with different SPs. It's usually a pattern. It always is a pattern. But now you learn how to really turn the tables in your favor, okay? So again, I'm going on the assumption that this person that did something bad to you, betrayed you, really hurt you, maybe even manipulated you, left you for somebody else, was a complete fucking asshole. Okay, so wouldn't you like an apology from someone like this? Now, again, this is on to be used wisely. Okay, the idea is this really. So, when this person hurt you and did all these things to you, you were a different person. In my coaching, we work on becoming a brand new version of yourself, one that doesn't create these situations anymore that, are not in your favor. Okay, so the idea is that when you created that version of that person, you were a different person. You were a different version of yourself. Okay, that's why you even created that to begin with. So really, this entire shebang is between you and you. So this is why I don't understand people who are calling this, manipulation or this and that. You already are manipulating, quote unquote, the universe the way that you are. You're creating it. I wouldn't call it manipulation. I would call it creation. So if you created an unfavorable situation with your SP, you can also create the opposite. So I don't know where the manipulation comes in. I'm personally flabbergasted when I receive some kind of emails that I'm Satan and that I shouldn't teach people how to do things. Well, what else should I be teaching people? How to sit in the corner and cry? That's stupid. And so the idea is to become that version of yourself who doesn't need their approval, doesn't need their apology. I know this sounds really contradictory. The idea is to forgive them. The idea is to let go of all that resentment. The idea is to basically completely make peace with everything that happened. And I know for some people that's really difficult. But the idea is this: as long as you resent them, they're not coming to apologize. It's not like, oh, come and apologize to me and then I'm going to stop resenting you. No. They're your mirror. Everybody's your mirror. So if you are forgiving somebody, genuinely, you don't give a fuck anymore, for the lack of better verbiage. You just say to yourself, well, you know what? Yeah, okay. I created that. I attracted this. That's what it really happened. I can't really continue on being angry at somebody when really they're my creation. When you kind of get settled in that knowing and start understanding how it really works, how the energy is really, everybody's made of your energy, especially the people who are in a relationship or were in a relationship with you at that time, on some level, even for a split second or a day or a week, you were in some kind of a situation, in some kind of a funk where you started creating certain things. You reacted to it, you didn't stop reacting to it, and thus it was on a loop, and here you are, the person started acting in a weird way or changed their behavior and this and that. Okay, so once you really let go of the resentment and start genuinely though, from the bottom of your heart, you don't have a scintilla of resentment towards them anymore, and you've worked through it, and you kind of saying to yourself, well, all right, whatever. You're kind of freed of that weight of, unforgiveness. And so now the energy between you and that person is clear. It's clearing up. At the very least, it started to clear. Okay. Now, if that's enough for you, for some people it is, if they don't really want to see that person, fine, beautiful. But chances are you really want that apology. You really want that person to come to you and acknowledge, hey, you know what? I fucked up. I'm really sorry. Okay. So and again, I want to stress, once you are in a different kind of vibration, once you really understand that there's no point in being resentful, you might not even want this person back after you've worked on yourself. But if you do, and if you want an apology, you simply talk to them in your mind. And you don't even have to use words. But the way you talk to them, quote unquote, you instruct them what to think. If before you instructed them to think, you're an asshole, you betrayed me, you're a cheater, you're a loser, you're pathetic, I hate you, da 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 da, then that's why they acted the way that they did. They never came to apologize to you because, after all, your instructions were that they're a loser, they're pathetic, they're a cheater, they're a liar. So a cheater and a liar doesn't give a shit to apologize, really. But if you start saying something all of a sudden, like right now, right here with me, as you're listening to me, whatever happened before, and again, provided you've really released the resentment, if you start saying, they're so sorry they did this to me, they can't stop thinking about me, they can't stop thinking how immature, how wrong they were, how much they've hurt me, they regret all this profoundly. It has finally dawned on them that this was completely wrong, that I'm the only one for them, that they need to come and apologize to me on their knees, that they really need to make it up to me. They are a changed person now. Something happened to them. I don't know what it is. I don't even care. But they had an epiphany, a realization, a profound one, that this was fucked up. And it doesn't really matter the current circumstances or what has gone on or whatever. Or if they're even with somebody else or something, they will come and do it. You instructed them differently now, and they're going to come and apologize to you. And, crying for you, yeah, listen, sometimes it's like a person who really realizes how much they messed up. Sometimes people, in the moment, they're kind of like crazy with their life. They're making bad choices, make mistakes. They don't realize what they're really doing. But once you really do realize, and it really dawns on you what a huge mistake that was, some people, yes, they will cry. They will cry for you because they will realize what a sensational person you are. And 99% of my clients are sensational people. I don't, a couple of times there was not somebody sensational, and I really didn't want to continue with them anymore because I really don't like to help people who are not, let's just say, benevolently inclined. This knowledge, this, if you really master this magic, it's unquestionable, it's undeniable, it works like clockwork. And so you have to use it for good, you can't use it for bad. But most of my listeners, and like I said, 99% of my clients that I've ever had know this for a fact. You have to be consistent, right? You can't just do this one day and then go back to square one, meaning go back to what you used to do before. You really have to persevere in this kind of assumption that, yes, they're losing sleep over me. Yes, they're losing sleep over what they've done. Yes, they have cried over me because of, they realize how much pain they've caused me. Yes, they are coming to apologize. Yes, any minute now they're gathering the courage to come talk to me. And when you kind of like fuse with this world where this new version of this person is really very different from the one that caused you pain, right? Really, a certain emotion will come over you of like, I'm so at peace right now. It's not, and again, this is not revenge. This is not hurting somebody. This is making things right. This is standing up for yourself. Instead, you're not really hurting anybody. You're making things right for yourself, where you're validating yourself, you're validating your pain. You're not really, you're not just stuffing it down. You're not just denying yourself that, yes, you were hurt. This is making things right. And for anyone who still has like some kind of a doubt that thoughts are information, it's kind of like, the other day I was writing my notes down, and I don't know if anybody knows about the science of heart transplants. When somebody is given a heart transplant from another person, they also download their memories. And I don't know why, but I thought of this example. Thoughts are information. Thoughts that are downloaded and transmit it out into the universe. Even an organ downloads information and certain thoughts. Okay, how do you think that this is possible? It's energy. Even an organ comes with energy. And so when you're transmitting information, even at a distance, I don't care what this person is, they could be on the moon, some goddamn where, or on Mars, Jupiter, pick a planet. It doesn't really matter because it's instantaneous. The thought transmission is instantaneous. Now, the persistence part of it has to be there, because one day you may say something or think something and you change your mind the next day, and well, then you don't get it. It just kind of went nowhere. But if you continuously, day in and day out, think of something the same way, just like you used to think of them in a different way, and you manifested that shit pretty consistently, the same can happen in reverse. Okay. The other thing that people kind of like really struggle with is, again, this whole situation of thinking that they're not permitted to do these things. That this is, how can I am not God. Well, first of all, yes, you are, but that's, you are the God of your reality. You're the creator. You already are. For some reason, people are really resistant to creating outcomes that they really prefer, because that's like too good. Well, I don't understand then the logic, right? Do you want to learn how to be the creator of your reality, or you don't, right? So you already manifested a shitty situation. So now to transform it, you just have to use the knowledge to your benefit. So why is that a sin, quote unquote? Why is that not permitted? You're already doing it, just in reverse. And I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with. Like, how can I be so powerful? Well, let me ask you something. Do you understand how much power it actually takes to create something shitty in your life? It takes a lot more effort than creating something lovely. True story. So you're already that powerful. So get over yourself. I think most people, it would like really terrify you to have your dreams. A lot of people feel this way, that it would blow my fucking mind to have exactly what I want. Okay, then get your mind blown. What are you waiting for? Because your old beliefs, like, what if I told you, like, your old beliefs and fears are literal lies? That you can't do something, that you deserve that outcome, the shitty outcome. On some level, you believe that. That's why you manifested it. On some level, you deserve what you have. The universe makes no mistakes. If you have or don't have something, you think you're the only one commanding it. You're the only one commanding it in and out of your life. Period. So on some level, you're communicating to the universe that, no, this is too good for me, I don't deserve it. Now, the idea is to really examine why you believe that, but that's a lie. If you believe that you don't deserve your dreams, if you believe you need to be fearful, you're buying into bullshit, okay? For the lack of better verbiage. You've been sabotaging yourself this entire time. And listen, like I said, if you'd like to spend your life like that, be my guest. It just doesn't sound like fun. It really doesn't. Like, why not turn it around and start examining what is actually the truth here? The truth is that you can literally create anything. And yes, you can create thoughts in other people's minds. Is it manipulation to go to a meeting, be dressed nicely, and before the meeting ask for a certain outcome with this person? No, it's not. It's creation. Is it manipulation to ask for a promotion and expect it at your job? No, it's not. It's creation. Is it manipulation to create your SP to be exactly the way that you want them to be? No, it's not. It's a creation. Just one you're not used to, perhaps. Okay, but it's the creation that you want. And so get used to being out of your reality and using the power to your advantage, and stop negotiating your magic. Every single one of my clients and everybody who's listening has magic powers. This is your magic power, instructing the universe to bring you what you want. Before, you used to say, oh, well, I don't deserve a perfect guy. I don't deserve a perfect girl. On some level, you said that. But now you're saying no. They're making it up to me. They're coming to apologize. They feel horrible. They know I'm the one. They worship the ground I walk on. They're coming back to stay. They're going to give me the commitment I always wanted. And they're never going to leave me again. If that's the guy or the girl you want. Or if you just want an apology, then that's what, you would manifest. You have to give yourself permission to use your magic and stand strong in your knowing. Like, really stop apologizing for, wanting to create brilliant things in your life. Standing strong in your knowing about, this is what I decided, this is what's going to be. Period. The end. It's my way or the motherfucking highway. And only with that persuasion, with that confidence, can you manifest things like these that everybody wants. An apology, them crying over you, feeling bad about their mistakes, almost overnight. You won't see it happening, okay? But as you're thinking what they're thinking that, and they're already making plans to come see you, to come apologize, to write that text. You don't know. They might be sitting there editing the text and again overthinking it, writing that email, deleting it, editing it, overthinking it. And finally, there will come a breaking point where your manifestation will finally present itself to you. They will show up at your door, send you that text or that email or the smoke signal. Just kidding. Or telephone you and say, I'm really sorry. Could we please meet? I have a lot to tell you. Please forgive me. La la la, whatever you want them to say. All right. Thank you very much for listening. If you need coaching, all my info is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.